Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Basketball Report. And today we are talking about the New Orleans Pelicans and just season preview and just predictions going into this 2021-2022 season. So starting it off with the Pelicans, interesting off season I would say. Letting
made
go.
some moves.
Yeah. Was it the right moves? I mean, we're going to discuss that now. But obviously, okay, so players coming in, Valanciunas, traded him for Steven Adams, also let go of Eric Bledsoe, which I thought at the time was a good move to give Lonzo Ball the primary ball handling, that,
Yes.
okay, you are our point guard now. And I think Valanciunas is a great player for his team, and I really love Valanciunas. He gives you a lot of rebounding, and I think he opens up that paint for Zion as well. But then they didn't sign Lonzo.
Yeah.
And they let Lonzo go in free agency.
But I think it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Looking at how Lonzo preseason games, he really improved his shot.
It looks good so far. I know it's still early, but
but still, you can see he did some work. And that's the main thing. Yes, they got Valanciunas, which I think is a good guy to have on the team. But now looking at the backcourt, we don't have much, do we?
So you've got your three big guys, obviously Zion, power forward, and you got Ingram and small forward. I think obviously those two guys give you 25 a night. Then you got Valanciunas who can give you 20. That's sorted. But I like Devontae Graham, and I think Devontae Graham had a nice story, but nice stories aren't necessarily good players. Devontae Graham, obviously, no one really knew he was. I mean, no one really knew who Devontae Graham was, and he just averaged almost 18 a game on 40% from free, and then the Hornets got LaMelo and he just disappeared. Yeah. So now all of a sudden you're like, okay, but maybe they should have kept Lonzo. And then the other thing is Neil Alexander Walker has been good, but really not been, great.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking back, put Lonzo on this roster, and say he is your main guy, you give him 30 minutes a night, could he have maybe been the better option? That's all that I'm saying. But regardless of that fact, they still kept their main guys, they still got their own picks, they still got the picks they got from LA. So there is a lot of trade options for this roster. You can package Valanciunas with a couple of picks. That could be an option. They still got Josh Hart on the roster. Yep. Could still develop a guy like Jackson Hayes. I just feel like they messed things up a little bit with this whole offseason and just the way they went into it.
Yeah. No, I think, again, last season they weren't in the playoffs. They struggled, actually. But injuries is a problem for this team. Zion is really injury prone. Brandon Ingram was also injured. And you don't want to say it, but the thing is, Zion lets me think about Embiid a lot. He's a really good player, but how many games does he play in a season? 40, 60 maybe. That's a big thing. I would have liked to see what Lonzo would have done on this team. I think maybe it could be a bit better fit, more depth.
I just think the thing is he never got that opportunity at the Pelicans to be the guy that they wanted him to be.
Yeah.
Because when he came, they still had Drew Holiday on the roster. So traded away Drew Holiday and they got Bledsoe again. Yeah. So, he was always second fiddle. He was always the second fiddle. And now, finally, trading away Bledsoe, I really thought that, okay, great. They're going to re-sign Lonzo, and Lonzo is going to be their main point guard. And we'll have to see how Lonzo plays. I still think he should have at least gotten one more opportunity, because the whole Lakers thing, I think there was too much expectations on his shoulders. He was still a rookie. It didn't really work out. He also struggled with injuries, and then when he got to the Pelicans, he didn't get the opportunity to be that main guy. Yeah. Unlike Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson, who just straight in, okay, this is his team, and he's going to take over. So the front office here, I think, is the big problem for this team. And with that said, I think they're going to make a lot of mistakes going forward as well. Like Lamas mentioned, the whole Zion situation. I mean, yes, when Zion plays, he's good. Yes, he gives you 23 a night. It's all fun and games when he dunks. But, I mean, are we going to see a consistent guy? Are we going to see a guy who can consistently play at least 70% of the season? Or are we just going to see a guy who's injury prone, sits on the bench, plays a couple of games, then gets injured again? And the same goes for Brandon Ingram. I mean, Brandon Ingram is basically Kevin Durant from Wish. And I would say that's a compliment. Great scorer. Fantastic. Yeah. I really like the player that Brandon Ingram is. But I just feel like, this team is just...
Yeah, it's not...
It's a good East team to get into a low-ranked seed.
Not in the West.
Not in the West. It's still
and also, I don't even think this team would do... Maybe playing games in the East.
In the West, I don't know.
I don't know. I still think something is not right here. You can just look at the team as a whole. Yes, you have the main guys, but something is missing. These guys are so hyped up, but still they can't get into the playoffs. Why?
Yeah,
understand?
Something's off with this team.
I think it's injuries is a big thing here.
I think also front office is the main problem. Just the decision making. I mean, what was the decision making, process when they took on this off season? I just feel like they just completely went into a wrong direction. I'm not saying that Lonzo Ball would have been make or break, but all of a sudden, looking at their guards, it's not looking too great. And this is a team who has been good in the guard aspect this couple of years, this last few seasons, and now all of a sudden, but it's very, very front court orientated.
Yeah, but I would say my final prediction, I think they would, if injuries and all that stuff isn't the big issue, I think they will do a bit better than last season. I would say maybe playing games. I don't see them going straight into the playoffs. Maybe from 7 till 10. I would say maybe even worse. I would say best case scenario they get into the playing games. Yeah, that's my final prediction. I don't see them performing like I think everybody expects them to perform. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, Zion's going to struggle with injuries this season, as he did this. I obviously hope he's fit, because I would love to see what he could be.
Yeah.
The hype's big, and I mean, he's brought it. The times he's played, he's been good, but I think he's still very overhyped, overrated. So I think this team's going to struggle just because of decisions they made. I'm going to say at best, maybe 9. But I think more realistically 11, 12. I know it sounds a little bit harsh. I just feel like this is basically the same roster they've had for 3 seasons now. All of those teams couldn't make it. All of those teams struggled with something. At best playing games, but most likely 11, 12.
Yeah, so I think that will be about that. But yeah, as always, in every single video, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Where they're going to rank, what do you think about the players, and what is, the way forward for the Pelicans. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and as always, hit that
jumper.